All right, let's talk about the Epstein files because millions of pages have been released, millions more, and somehow the most important parts are still missing. And this week, a federal judge gave the DOJ an ultimatum: unredacted or justify it. Here's what's actually available to the public. Back in January, the DOJ dropped over 3 million documents, plus 2,000 videos and like 180,000 images, what they called their last major release. You can see the obvious stuff: Epstein, Maxwell, investigators, staff, pilots, employees, and a lot of names tied to meetings, flights, and emails. Being named in these files doesn't mean someone did anything wrong. A lot of these are just contacts or associations. Basically a phone directory. Gardeners and hairdressers, next to celebrities. A name in the files isn't a verdict. So what is still hidden? This week, a judge ordered the DOJ to either unredact or explain itself on some very specific things. A draft indictment of Epstein with potential co-conspirators' names blacked out, a 2019 email naming co-conspirators that got redacted, and 8 email exchanges where the sender or the recipient's name was hidden. Emails that reportedly touch on disturbing material involving minors. He also ordered them to turn over the underlying interview notes behind the FBI summaries of uncorroborated abuse allegations against President Trump. Suspiciously, the summaries exist. The source notes do not. That's controversial because the law literally says you can't redact names just to avoid reputational harm. At the same time, there are real legal limits. Grand jury material is almost always completely sealed, and unproven allegations can't just get dumped publicly. So what you get is this weird mix: some names exposed, some protected, and it's not consistent. The same release has shown women's faces visible, while men's are blacked out in the exact same photo. There are also entire gaps. The DOJ has admitted only about half of the roughly 6 million pages they collected will ever be released. The rest are calling duplicates or unrelated or privileged, whatever that means. There are missing interview notes, there are missing attachments, and the files that are public aren't even organized. There's no chronological order, there's no grouping, there's duplicate copies scattered everywhere with different redaction levels applied to the same documents. So people look at millions of pages and think we got everything. In reality, it's a curated partial picture, and even the DOJ can't fully explain what's been left out. So how do we dig through it? If you actually want to go through the files yourself, don't just scroll randomly. Start with flight logs, depositions, and FBI summaries. Search specific terms, not just broad ones. You have to cross-check everything. But there is a new tool coming. The same judge just ordered the DOJ to release a full redaction log, meaning for the first time, you might see a list of every single redaction they've made and why. And that's the thing to actually look out for. The DOJ has until July 2nd to comply with this order or explain itself in court. And they've already said they're appealing, so we're not going to get one big reveal. It's going to be slow, contested, piece by piece. And that fight over the redaction log tells us more than the documents themselves may ever tell us.